So I have just arrived at Necker Island, which is Richard Branson's private island. And I'm going to be spending the next 6 days with Richard himself and a handful of other wildly successful entrepreneurs. And I'm going to bring you guys with me. I'm going to show you the island. I'm going to bring you in on the amazing conversations we're going to have with the people here, and also the week's worth of activities we have lined up. So yeah, I'm going to share with you guys how I'm here, why I'm here, and any other reflections and learnings along the way. But already this place is fucking wild. Like, I've been in some amazing places and some nice homes, some nice locations. This is like bucket list level stuff that I'm blown away already. So let's get into it. It's only a feeling. So we've arrived at Necker. Here's Josh, and then we've got Dad. So what brings you to Necker?
New people, new perspectives, once in a lifetime experience.
A lifelong ambition and dream to be here. So
Since when?
probably like 20 years ago, I remember thinking, wow, that would be amazing, but it was just way too expensive and just an impossible dream. So yeah, it's a dream come true.
How you feeling, Tyler?
Feeling good. We're on our way to
The great house.
the great house where my room is, where Josh's room is. First impressions?
First impressions. I mean, getting Richard greeting us as we got off the boat was quite special. Shook hand with the most quintessentially famous entrepreneur in Britain, who's built how many $1 billion companies?
I actually don't know.
I think it's over eight. I think it's eight in eight different sectors.
I mean, I don't know about you, but like for me, I think like the first ever business book I ever read was Branson.
Yeah. His brand awareness, like if I was to speak to my mum, my grandma, my friends, someone on the street, everyone would know who Richard Branson is.
Which is crazy, especially in a time where like personal brands weren't really a thing.
And he also had to use other forms of generating attention and PR, which is fly a hot air balloon across the Atlantic. It's drive a tank through London or wherever you drove the tank through. It's a completely different way of doing it. Whereas now it's viral post on TikTok. He didn't have that luxury, and he still managed to build the brand awareness that he's got.
Personal branding bought Richard an island.
Yeah, it did. A very nice one of that.
This is the great house.
Holy shit.
And this
It's got to be the best hotel we've ever stayed in. Not just the room, but being on a private island. It's absolutely incredible. Look at these views that we've got. Oh, I can't wait to see in the morning. Wow, and we're in the great house. This is incredible.
Okay, so we are rocking up to dinner.
Anyway, welcome. Yeah, welcome to everybody. Who hasn't been here before? Hey, lots of people, wonderful. So I've been here since I was 28 years old, so a long time. In those days there was just one palm tree, and we would tent out on the beach and just enjoy dreaming about one day maybe standing in a thunderstorm on top of the mountain. Anyway, it's been a wonderful ride, just slowly developing this magical island.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Strain!
We had one of those a few years ago, and the lightning conductor was not hitting the ground, and this whole house burned down. So what I want to say is we've now got the lightning conductor, so it goes the whole way to the ground.
Hey, how are you doing, Richard?
If we are hit by rain like we had yesterday whilst we're in the gully, it could be quite an intense experience. It could be epic for those that are up for a proper adventure, but it could also be pretty hairy.
Come on, we're coming striving. We can all help each other out.
Yeah.
We're going to have some shelter there from the tree, in the trees. Let's fucking do it.
Yeah! On that basis, I'm indemnified for any losses and they're all on Richard. There you go.
Dan, what are we up to?
Mate, we are climbing up a riverbed with Richard Branson.
Yeah.
In a storm. In a storm.
This is an amazing nature walk, hike, if you want to call it that, in the middle of virgin water to the hills. It's challenging. On a scale of 10 to 12, my friends, this morning it's not a 7, it's not an 8.5, it's a 10.
A couple of places where you think you're going straight ahead, you should actually go left. Are there signs?
Not signs, but I promise for the next time we'll have signs. No. But I'm here with nobody going out quest today.
Okay, but they're not signed this time. So if you go 300 or 400 yards on, you'll be really pissed off. So watch. If there's a possibility of going left, go left.
No, just follow the lead. Don't go outside the lead.
The snakes are all harmless.
Little baby snakes.
The small tarantulas.
I'm going to ban Richard from speaking.
Small tarantulas above your head, just duck underneath them.
Come on, Josh. Josh Grills, accountants in the wild.
Fucking incredible. Look at that for a view.
How are you feeling for the swim?
The swim, I'm really excited about. I think even with the height, the worse the storm, the better the challenge and the experience. Like, we're here to strive. Strive is supposed to be difficult, so the more difficult it is, the better it is, and the better it feels at the end.
Yeah, so guys, not tomorrow, in 3 days?
3 days.
I think in 3 days we have a 5-kilometer swim to do from Necker.
In shark-infested waters in the sea.
From Necker Island to Mosquito Island, which is another island that Richard purchased 20 plus years ago, which is 5 kilometers, which is, I mean, I did a 9-man 9 years ago, which I think is less than that. And I've done no training. How's your training been? Where are we?
It don't get no better than this. This is virgin water at its finest. We're actually a quarter of the way in Black Rock Gut presently.
Black Rock Gut.
This, a lot of people have no clue exists. This is like finding diamonds. It's so epic. Everybody should know about it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep it to ourselves.
You got it, you good?
There we go. We made it, Tyler.
That was awesome. Got covered in bites, scratches, thistles. Good, it's challenging.
This was built by Virgin Atlantic Cabin Crew.
Was it really?
Yeah, they were here sailing and they all created a line all the way down and they just passed up the wood. Yeah, and then
It's a bit shaky. It's got building regs sign off. So guys, we just finished the hike. Beautiful hike to the top of, what's it called?
Virgin Gorda Peak.
Virgin Gorda Peak. Richard and I are just walking down to lunch. When it comes to playing a bigger game in life, in business, someone that's built substantial businesses in different sectors, did it come natural to you, or?
I think people should do what they enjoy, and if possible, try to make a difference to other people's lives.
Yeah.
And then I think you'll enjoy it even more.
Come on, Josh. So we have just pulled up to Mosquito Island, which is another island owned by Richard, and coming here for lunch. And this is the island we're going to be swimming to from Necker as well. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? So that is where we're swimming to. No, swimming from. We're swimming from there to here. How are you feeling about the swim, Sean?
Well, it's a long way and there are sharks, but apart from that, I think it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
You done your training?
I have. I done the last long swim I did was 10 years ago, but I've been swimming 4 times in the last few weeks.
So guys, I am here with my dad, Sean, his first time on the YouTube channel, and this is one of many adventures that we've done together. I thought this would be a fitting opportunity for you to introduce your story.
Okay.
Let's keep it the short story.
Okay.
But starting from the start.
Okay, the short version is I had an older sister in a wheelchair, and she had spina bifida, so couldn't walk, and my brother was 5 years younger than me, so there was a bit of an age gap, and my mum and dad got divorced, and then my dad committed suicide when I was about 14, so I became the man of the family, and I think, well, however terrible that was, it did give me that, you know, independence, and I had to grow up quickly. And then my mum got a new boyfriend, I didn't get on with him, so then I left home probably about 15 when I was still at school, and I was sleeping on friends' couches, and one of the parents then told the social services, and then they said, well, you can't just sleep nowhere, and they said, you've got to go home. I didn't want to go home, so they put me in a bedsit. So while I was at school, I was basically living in a bedsit on my own, and I had a room and a fridge and a toaster for my breakfast, and then obviously school meals, free school meals. I was one of those free school meal kids, and then in the evening the lady, it was her house, and she went out the rooms, made us an evening meal. So that was the early stages, and I just knew we were poor. Like if my mum was pleased when she got to the jumble sale early and got me all the best stuff, and she said, "Oh, Sean, look, I've got some really good stuff." I went, "Oh, great!" And so that was normal for me. You know, I was pleased with new, decent clothes from the jumble sale. But I didn't realise I was poor. We were in a council house. We didn't have a car. My mum was on benefits, and I knew I wanted to be rich, because I thought my next door neighbour was rich because they had a caravan and they had a soda stream and had a games console, like an Atari thing. It'd be beep, beep, beep. Like that was like, we were lucky if we had a pack of playing cards and Connect 4 for Christmas. So my definition was rich was quite low. But you know, one day, if I could like buy a house, I'm thinking I've made it, because we had a council house. If I bought a car, and then when I did get a car, I went, imagine if I had a new car, and like, you know, I bought a brand new car. It was an Escort 1.4 LX. I thought, I've made it. Like, so there's a different level of, and you know, you're seeing some proper wealth.
Private islands.
And you can set bigger goals. And if I have one thing I should have done, and I know everyone says it, but dream bigger, like extreme, much bigger. And yeah, so I in my little world, in my little town, you could class that as successful, because we had a nice house and a nice car, and you know, a good life, great holidays. But there was definitely a bigger game to be played. And I would be recommending or suggesting to anyone who's watching this to say, just believe in yourself and think bigger, because anything you can imagine is achievable, and Richard Branson is a great example of that, and he has got an amazing life. And I'm thinking, I want some of this, and I need to set higher goals. So that's the short version of where I was and where we are today, and there's a big chunk in the middle.
Well, if you guys want to see a part 2 and learn more about that story, let us know in the comments, because you could keep going. So ladies and gentlemen, my biggest role model, my biggest inspiration, my dad, Sean Newman.
Well, you inspire me too every day, so well done, and it's been amazing spending a week with you.
That's got to be like 2 degrees. Okay, so we have the opportunity to ask Branson one question. Do you know what yours is going to be?
Question.
I think one thing Branson's done well is well, this is what Noah said. Noah's one of the people hosting this trip, who's Branson's nephew, that they're obviously a lot wealthier people than Branson, but he's amassed a 10-figure fortune without really compromising on happiness, on family, on his health. And so he's kind of won at most areas of life. Like, he's got great family life. He's healthy. I mean, 75?
76.
76. And he just did that hike with us today.
But I think the question is, how do you succeed in business to the level that he's had while not sacrificing family, health, fitness, experiences, being around the right people? How do you manage to do it all and do it all well? Because that's one thing that I think, I don't do well enough, and I know 95% of entrepreneurs don't. They do business well, but they don't do the rest well. And that's why they have more relationships, they might not be as fit as they want to be. It's very rare that you see someone that's amazing in all aspects. And I think there's three pillars. There's family, there's health and fitness, and then there's business. I can only really ever at once do two really well. If I want to spend more time with family, my fitness tends to drop a little bit. If I want to do growth phase in business and get to the next level, something has to go.
Yeah.
And how has he managed to do that and build $8 billion businesses in 8 different sectors?
Anyway, guys, this is Josh. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your business and what your business journey's looked like over the last few years?
Yeah.
30-second version.
So imagine you're an entrepreneur and you want to know how to stop paying all your money to HMRC, build a better business that's
all your
more
money
profitable.
To HMRC?
Depends how much you pay. You want to know how to build a better business, be more profitable, exit for a higher price. We help you do that in a way that isn't a robotic 60-year-old accountant in a boardroom office. We do it in a way that understands you, the business, and we provide you with that support network so you can get to wherever you want to get to and have the support to get there. We've done that at scale, and I've backed that with my personal brand and doing content.
And what was that personal brand journey like? Like it was, you told me it was pretty slow and gradual, and then one day.
So I think it's repetitions, doing the same thing every day, and at some point you will get that spark that then takes you to the next level. And providing you then keep that consistency, you then ride the train from there and the opportunity.
But what happened? What happened with you when you were doing it?
So I was at 4,000 followers. Had a post that went to 1.5 million in Instagram. I then went to 65,000 followers in the space of a week, 2 weeks. Got 600 inquiries in a week, and then ever since then I've had more work than I can possibly cope with.
And how old are you?
At 25.
25. And built a 8-figure business?
We're on our way.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, multi-7.
Sick.
Hi, I'm Shelton Wilder, and today, I guess, would this be day 2?
Yeah.
Day 2 of Necker Island of our entrepreneur camp. That's what I call it. We are gonna go sail on a Hobie. It's like I don't know, maybe 8 of us on every boat.
8 of us?
Yeah, it's like 6 to 8. Yeah. What do you mean? That's it?
We're going to be more than
no, you got
more than friends.
Yeah, and then we're going to be listening to Yacht Rock. And we had so much fun.
And we're going to be
staying positron. And last year, Catherine and I were like peeing off the side. You just got to do what you got to do. You know? I mean, you just got to. This one, yeah. So that's what we're doing.
There's running for those who want to run. There's hiking for those who want to hike. Then there's another hike around the shoreline later on. Sunday, the wind's going to be fantastic. We're going to do lots of stadium races around here and fun things.
Right, 8 people.
Yep.
2, 4, 6. Yous are going on basically this boat here, but just wait till the captain gets here.
What's on the agenda for today, Dan?
We are running, swimming, hanging out, having fun, coming up with plans, taking over the world, thinking bigger than we've ever thought before.
Living the dream. How are you feeling for the run?
Yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's a beautiful breeze.
Where you putting yourself? Top 10? Top 5?
Top 1.
Top 1.
I mean, it's not a race, but obviously I'll win it.
Permission to come aboard, Captain.
Okay, so we've got a 7K run. We're here with Dom, founder of Runner.
No pressure on the running, eh?
The pressure is on.
It's so easy to kayak.
Where do you put yourself today? Top 3? Top 5? Top spot?
I reckon top 5, we'll see.
What are you thinking, Josh?
It's got to be top 5.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm not the CEO of Runner.
Just follow my footsteps.
Okay, how would I do that when I'm in front of you then?
Some people don't like running or don't want to run because of knees and things. We can hike from here as well, which is G7. And if people need a pee, there's bushes all the way along, so don't worry about that. If you're worried about anything else, there's loo paper over there. You can go and grab some and shove it in your pocket, or
Richard, be running or walking, hiking?
A bit of both.
Cool. Okay, so we have a 7-kilometer run along this island that we've just got the speedboat to. Over the last couple of days, a few people have found out that recently did the Marathon des Sables, the toughest foot race on earth, 250 kilometers across the Sahara. And so the pressure's on for me to perform well, but I'll be honest, I haven't really trained too much or spent too much time in the heat or the sauna since. So yeah, currently up front, getting to the start of the finish line. Richard's got the same thing in mind. But let's see. I mean, I back myself with these things. I've been eyeing up my competition. Maybe go for a top 3, top 5. Maybe even take that top spot.
It won't be for long.
There we go, boys.
Living the dream, baby.
How are we feeling?
Good vibes.
Lovely and hot. A little swim after this, so that'll be fun.
Jeez, it is hot. I can definitely feel like, having not trained as hard as I was over the last 5 months since the marathon in the Sahara, or the ultra in the Sahara, my heart rate and my core body temp is definitely feeling it. This is definitely giving me flashbacks of earlier this year running through the Sahara Desert.
Let's go!
It's a strong finish. Nice work, coach.
Hell yeah! Woo!
So guys, I'm here with Josh and we're about to have the most beautiful dinner on the beach. Like, the view in front of us right now is just unbelievable. We'll show you some shots. We've got a bar behind us. We've got...
Very romantic.
We're filming.
We know.
But thanks. That's very romantic. We've got a beautiful little beach bar behind us, a pizza oven, some pizza's been made, but Josh and I were just talking about the caliber of people that we're meeting here. So, I mean, your story alone, from like a 4-staff accountancy business to then overnight, I mean, yeah, like what happened for you? What was that big inflection point?
I think I had the spark or the switch point that most entrepreneurs had when I was probably 21. So pitching doorsteps, winning clients, consistency, but not really any like scale up that is shouting home about, like nothing that's out of the ordinary. But then I had a social media post that was actually on my anniversary. It was my first trip ever where I said I'm not going to work since I started the business. And I got the viral post while I was on that trip.
How viral are we talking?
It got 1.6 million on Instagram.
Okay.
Thousands and thousands. I think it had over 10,000 likes.
Okay.
Thousands and thousands of saves, comments. In the week that followed, I had over 600 inquiries. And then after that, it was still 50 a day, 40 a day, 30 a day. Carried on for a long time. And I went from 4,000 followers to over 60,000 followers in the space of a week. So from a business that's maybe signing 1 or 2 clients every week, 2 weeks, to now having unlimited resource, clients, demand, but with a team of 4.
Yeah.
So I had to scale up really quickly, break the business, growing pains, fix it, scale up again, break the business, growing pains. So I had to learn what would usually be a period of maybe 10 to 15 years for most entrepreneurs in the space of 6 months. Skip forward to today, after solving them problems, taking that demand, converting it into paying customers, building a great team, attracting the right talent. We're now at 39 staff. and we work with some incredible entrepreneurs, some of which are here today, 7, 8 figures, and then it iterated from an accountancy firm to tax consultancy.
Okay.
For high net worths situations where I was talking to you before, we had a client who recently sold for 26 million. We had a conversation with them, moved the chessboard pieces in the right manner and saved them 1.4 million.
Wow.
And when you can provide that level of value to the marketplace, you get paid very well for it.
So you have like a success fee on that tax saving, or how does it work?
Not on tax saving, we have a success fee on if we help an entrepreneur exit. So
Okay.
if we represent them throughout the M&A process, if they're buying a business, selling a business, we'll look to increase enterprise value, we'll look to ensure that diligence is done correctly, we'll support them with negotiation, contracting, data and analytics, pitch deck, financials. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're going to need accountancy, you're going to need tax support, you're going to need support growing, scaling your business with the right data, and then if you want to exit it, you're going to need support with that. So we managed to create a business off the back of the demand that we had to cover the whole curve from start-up to sale, and anything we don't directly cover, we indirectly then provide law, raising funding, pitch decks, ads, mortgages, anything you can imagine. So we try and position ourselves as one-stop shop, entrepreneurs, whatever you need throughout whatever stage in the journey you are, we can do it. And that for me is, 1, built a great business, but 2, opened so many doors to work with great entrepreneurs, which for me is the best bit about the job. The money's good, but I prefer to have conversations with people like you, understanding what went wrong, what went right, what can I learn from it, and to do that with hundreds of successful entrepreneurs is, for me, the
And you mentioned like you've got one client which is looking at like an almost 9-figure acquisition or exit?
Exit.
Exit.
So they've already acquired 21 smaller businesses in their niche, and they've rolled them together as well as created a software. So they sell products, they do services, they do supply and clinical testing, and then they also have a software.
On that, you'll be taking a success fee that could be a couple percentage points.
Yeah, all being well, touch wood, could be 7 figures.
Wow. Huge. And I mean, we were just talking about, I asked Josh if he's going to be signing any of the attendees here as potential clients, because everyone's just speaking about their businesses and being very transparent. And I mean, it sounds like you're going to do business with a few of the people here, and could even be a profitable trip for you, which is wild.
Yeah.
But like, there's guys here. I mean, I think Josh has actually spoken in detail of more of them than I have, but we've got guys here that have exited for like 600 million. Alan, who's been very transparent online about his business. I was at dinner last night sitting next to and chatting to a lady which had one of the biggest exits in Canada.
The biggest female exit in Canada.
Is it public, her exit?
I'm unsure.
Okay.
I got told of someone else.
Well, I was having dinner with, last night, the girl next to me sold her business for $300 million. And I mean, from what she was telling me, I was like, okay, cool, it's a pretty substantial business, but then I had no idea on that context. And I mean, there's more, right? I mean, you've just...
So many more. Over there, you sold for 8 figures. Someone you sold for 110.
Yeah. Yeah, Makari's been very transparent about his exit was $110 million, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some incredibly successful people there.
And then there's Richard, who's built, what did you tell me, $8 billion businesses?
In 8 different sectors. I think there's more than $8 billion businesses he's built, but 8 in 8 different sectors. No one's ever done that before. Completely different sectors, from airlines to railways to music to incredible.
These are the dinner tables you want to be at.
South Africa and South Africa together is unified. On the very first copy of my first magazine, I put out on the back of the magazine I put a quote which was the brave may not live forever, but the cautious do not live at all. And foolishly, I have lived by that motto, I suppose, throughout my life, and I've been very, very, very lucky to still be around to tell the tales. But life's been, one hell of a rush and a lot of fun as a result. So I think by and large, I have a team at the office. I mean, I'm Dr. Yes. Everybody knows there's Dr. Yes. But I have
quite a number of entrepreneurs, and so yeah, so there's always that slight tension between me wanting this to be, say let's give it a go, and then trying to hold me down a bit.
Did you ever say no?
I've been married for 50 years, so I've certainly had to say no.
I always thought that entrepreneurship was the way to freedom. My parents were like proper grafters. We worked really hard. We worked for companies and got shafted on the pensions. And my uncle had a business. It wasn't a big business, but he drove a nicer car and had nicer holidays. So I always thought, if I set up a business like him, maybe I'll have a nicer life, and that was it. Tried loads of different business ideas. Most of them failed. Some of them fucked up quite spectacularly. And then hit onto this idea of helping businesses with their sales processes. And if you can just solve the sales process in a business, if I can get the sale done quicker, get you charging more money, get everyone in your business to be able to sell, that most of the other problems in your business will just start to be solved because you're fucking making more cash and selling more to customers. Kept doing that for different businesses and did it for an accountancy firm, and then another accountancy firm heard about it and said, how do we get it? And that was the spark I was looking for. And I had this idea of because I'm tight as fuck, because I'm from Yorkshire, like how do I do it with no investment, no money? So I had this idea to build, can you build a software business on WordPress? So there's two types of WordPress, a normal WordPress website and a WordPress multi-site. And a WordPress multi-site has the same DNA as a piece of software in that it has a central database and separate secure installs, but all of the key features that you'd need to develop for software, like how to log in, how to have passwords, how to create new users, is already built into the system. So I had this idea, can I use it? And we priced it up and it was going to be £4,000 to build it. And my dev said, we can do it, but I think it'll start to creak at 100 users. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, we'll get to that point. Got to 100, it was fine. Got to 500, it was fine. Got to 1,000, it was fine. Just never showed any signs of creaking. And it turns out that actually it's a totally legitimate way to build a software business. So we were unusual in that we had a profitable software business. They made like 25-30% profit.
Which was what? Just from accountants?
So proposal software for accountants. So the issue with accountants is you go to an accountant and you say, I want my bookkeeping doing, my tax return doing, whatever it is, and they say I'll give you a price. And what they then go and do is ask a partner what we should charge, and a partner will say, how much did we charge for the last company like theirs, and they will do it to them. It's the equivalent, what I used to tell them, it's the equivalent of going to a restaurant and a waiter or waitress coming to you and saying, what do you want? And you're like, well, have you got a menu? And they're like, no, just tell me what did you have at the last restaurant you went? Oh, fuck, it was a fucking beef burger and a steak or whatever. Okay, how much is it going to be? I don't know. I'll go and ask the head chef, the busiest person in the building, what it's going to cost, and we'll price it up. That's how accountancy firms work. So I gave them a simple menu of services. The brief for me was, how can we help the most junior member of the team to price and sell to the most complicated client they've got? That was the brief, and we were able to do it in under 5 minutes. You had to nail the deal in 5 minutes. You had to be able to sign on the dotted line in 5 minutes, otherwise you fucked the sale. And that was it. And
coming across Dan and writing the book.
So Daniel Priest's philosophy for key person of influence was, how do you become a key person of influence in an industry? No, accountants don't like outsiders, so I was an outsider. So I knew what I had to do because I'd read his book. So I wrote a book. It took me 2 weeks to do it. Turned it into a bestseller. It's still the highest rated book in accountancy in the world. I became the top influencer in accountants, the top rated speaker, top video producer, and just dominated. It's a Conor McGregor phrase, but I'm not in it to take part, I'm in it to take over. So just fucking dominated the space. The goal was always to sell the business. My wife and I had agreed with the financial advisor that if we could sell it for 5 million, we'd remove financial pressure from us. We got to a £1 million revenue, and we started to get interest from other businesses, and then grew it to 1.5 million, and then we finally got a deal. and we sold it for £22 million.
Oh, good man. Wow.
In what time when was that finish?
5 years, and I own 90% of the business.
And when was that?
Did the deal 4 years ago, and then a 2-year earn out, which was just deferred payments. Nothing was contingent, so to not be fired.
Yeah.
And then so the last 2 years I've just been trying to figure shit out.
I was going to say, what you did the last 2 years? Where'd you head at?
I dropped off a fucking cliff, mate. I just hit rock bottom after that, because we achieve these things that we, as I said last night, that we think. One of the reasons we chase these dreams or these goals or whatever is because we think it's going to change how we feel. Not for the thing, it's for the feeling that we think we're going to get once we've got the thing. And I got the thing and I didn't feel any different. I woke up the next day and I felt exactly the same. And then that required me to ask myself, well, what was the feeling that I thought was going to change? What did I think was lacking that I wanted to change? And if it's not from anything external, what is it internally that I needed to figure out? And I just started to spiral in and just fucking spiral down. And I had a breakdown, and I'm from a tough mining village, so I would never, if someone said they've had a breakdown, I'd say, fucking pull yourself together. I had a physical breaking down, and what I learned was, sometimes you have to break down fully in order to rebuild. And so I got people around me, I assembled the scaffolding around and started to rebuild.
Just here with Dan, and we're just reflecting on Richard's...
The chat we had with Richard last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a job called taking on the risk, right? So imagine that there is a job, and the job description is, you've got to say, yeah, we're up for this, we're doing this, no question, we're doing it, we're taking on this risk, we're going to try and solve this problem. And then immediately after that decision has been made, then all the other jobs come into existence.
Yeah.
What Richard's great at is he does that job really well. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
And then there's another group of people who come in and do everything else. But what he doesn't do, which most entrepreneurs do, is he doesn't confuse that the job of taking on the risk and saying we're going to do this damn thing needs to then immediately translate into I need to run the business and all that sort of stuff. He treats taking on the risk and being up for something, the screw it, let's do it moment.
Yeah.
He owns that moment, but that moment only needs to happen briefly, and then the whole thing starts to move. He just doesn't get caught up in the rest of it.
And he's got the leverage of brands, capital to then...
Yeah, well, he's doing the job of taking on the risk. Even brand and capital and all that sort of
risk.
Stuff. Even still, that still comes, and he brings in people who know how to do all that. He's the guy who says we're up for this. Let's do it. And that's kind of what he's good at. Just saying, yeah, let's do this or let's not do this.
He's trying to get down, but he doesn't want to leave his branch.
Love it.
Can you jump?
Look at the turtles.
Okay, so we have a bit of a rest day today, but this morning Richard is kindly hosting kangaroo yoga at his house on the island because, of course, he has a kangaroo sanctuary at his house. And then he is kindly taking us on a hike/tour of the island. So we wanted to bring you guys with me. And first we'll show you the view from our room. We have Mosquito Island over there. We've got some more accommodation over there. You can see, if I zoom in, a load of flamingos over there, which we'll see later, and then more over here. So our room is in what's called the Great House, which is where we had a beautiful dinner here last night. Morning. We've got a beautiful bar here, and then beautiful views all around the property. And the first night here, we had a beautiful dinner here, and we had a lightning storm. And no word of a lie, we had a thunderbolt strike literally feet away from us, where you could hear the zap of the electricity, and then the loudest thunderclap we've ever heard happen. And Richard joked that last time that happened in 2017, the whole house burnt down. And then if I take you upstairs, we've got something pretty cool. So I've just been hit with some rain out of nowhere. And up here, we have a little driving range with some eco balls, essentially fish food. And then if you go right to the top, Here we go. Have a view of the whole island in the storm. Woo! Oh. That's the one problem with this island is you get soaked if you get caught in the rain. But I'm not complaining. Richard says he's here at the Great House. Come to pick us up. Our Uber driver has arrived.
Where are you?
Thanks for coming.
No problem. We'll work it out.
What's the most you've ever fit into one of these?
I've had 10 or so.
I can imagine that, actually.
Okay, so when I was told hike around the island, I wasn't expecting this.
I thought there was just a few nice beaches and there's all of this.
The mistake I've made is, how do I show my feet? Oh, the mistake I've made is I've gone barefoot, which is, I guess, how we used to do it millions of years ago.
Just kidding.
Oh my God, Richard. I don't know. I was literally like,
shit yourself.
Rich, you scared the shit out of me. I was shit scared of heights. I'm going to have to do this. I was going to visit you and watch it.
Currently, Sam and I in Aruba with how many other people?
Quite a few. I reckon 8.
That is not your typical Uber ride. You want to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Makaya. This has been an insane week. This man's been capturing it quite well. I'm looking forward to reviewing it.
Tell us about your business journey.
Oh man, built a bunch of stuff. Sold, the last one was a startup, Silicon Valley. Sold it to a public in 2021. Traveled the world for a couple of years, and now living in Tokyo, Japan, making content, and then we invest in founders that watch our content and hopefully like us.
Amazing.
So it's been super inspiring to be here, learn from the boss himself.
So we're just wrapping up the first couple of days here on Necker Island, and I want to share something with you guys really profound that Richard shared with me on our first day together. But before that, some reflections. I mean, first of all, this island is unbelievable. I mean, this is not some kind of hotel or resort. This is his private home. This is his private island. And so the hospitality here is amazing. The island's much bigger than I was expecting. I mean, I think it's 75-ish acres. There's over 140 staff that work on this island full time. But you have these beautiful different venues dotted all around. You have kind of the beach house and the tennis courts. You have a beach with water sports. You have a pool with its own bar and seating area and lots of different spots with the different rooms. Even Richard's home, like, he's happy for you to walk into essentially his home and see the kangaroos in his back garden. Right now I'm in the Great House where we had dinner on the first evening, and there was just this incredible lightning storm happening all around us. There was a lightning strike that hit us literally 20 feet away from our table, and you could hear the zap of the electricity with the loudest thunderclap I've ever heard shortly after. But I've been in some amazing places, I've been around some amazing people, but this place is just next level. We did a beautiful 3-hour hike with Richard, and on the walk back down, I made a joke to him. I said to him in passing that he was 28 years old when he purchased this island. He's 75 now, and my God, is he in incredible shape for a 75-year-old. But I made the joke that he bought this island when he was 28 years old, which is, funnily enough, the same age that I am now, and I am yet to own an island or buy a private island. And his response was that being 28 years old is far more valuable than any of this, than any private island. And it reminded me that there isn't a single billionaire on this earth over the age of 60 that wouldn't trade places with anyone in their teens or 20s. And so if you're in your teens, if you're in your 20s, you have something that billionaires can't buy. There is no mansion, there is no private plane, there is no private island that is worth more than being young and having time, because that is something that you can't buy. And if you feel like you're wasting that time, you're squandering that time, then I would argue that you don't deserve future success, because you can't even appreciate and utilize what you already have, the most precious, valuable resource, which is youth, time, energy. It's a luxury that those decades ahead don't have anymore. So that was really profound for me to hear. It was a nice reminder. But I'm really looking forward to the rest of this week. We have the 5-kilometer swim coming up from here to Mosquito Island, Richard's other island which he owns, which isn't his home, but he has various an estate there, and 5 kilometers is a long way. I mean, I've swam a similar distance before 9 years ago when I did an Ironman triathlon, but I haven't swam open water since, especially not any meaningful distance. So everyone seems to be a little bit nervous, but I just back myself. I just know when it comes to sink or swim and you just keep paddling, you know, ultimately it's a psychological challenge disguised as a physical challenge. And if you can just keep paddling, I know that we all underestimate what the body is capable of. So I have no doubt the majority of those I'm sharing this experience with are going to make it across. But we'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, let's get into the rest of the trip. So it is swim day. I'm actually going to swim with flippers. And we are swimming to Mosquito Island, around 5 kilometers away over there. Let's get it. How are we feeling?
We're going to absolutely, well, I don't know, a bit scared of the sharks, but I think we'll get through it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Micaiah, how are we feeling?
Nervous.
Yeah?
But just going to go until I either pass out or make it, so.
Gents, it's a...
only 5k, so 5k's not
only 5k. Steve, how are you feeling?
5k, yeah, I do that most weeks, so.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Alright guys, come in, we are now going to do a briefing.
Oh, it's a beauty.
Oh yes. Feed those fishes.
That's so funny. Beats Top Golf in Watford.
Yeah, it's in the sea, is it?
So my name's Al Barrett, and I'm the founder of a sports nutrition business called Grenade. I really despised school, very much like Richard, who owns the island where we're sat, and I was always very obsessed with training in the military. So in 2010, with a $700 startup loan, set up a sports nutrition business called Grenade, which had one product at the time, a weight loss product in a grenade-shaped bottle. And we made it the #1 selling weight loss product in the UK, and then we pivoted into bars, and we didn't invent protein bars, but we very much invented good protein bars. We've now sold over 1 billion bars to date.
1 billion bars.
And the business has gone from that $700 startup loan to being valued at just under $1 billion last year, after we got acquired by Mondelez International, who have bought 2 businesses in the UK. One is Grenade and the other is Cadbury. They own Oreo and lots of other stuff, so they've been the best partners we've ever had, and we still think that we're just getting started on the journey.
Unbelievable. I mean, was there any key inflection points along the way?
I mean, absolutely. I think probably one of the biggest inflection points was doing the bars in the first place, which our board were very much against the idea of doing protein bars. I'd spent 2 years working on what I thought was the best protein bar in the world. They disagreed. They just didn't want to do protein bars. I didn't get board approval to do it, but in true screw it, just do it style, did it anyway. On the proviso that if it failed, I'd buy the 50,000 protein bars I'd had made. I'd buy them personally. So that was 2015, so I'd probably still be eating protein bars to this day. But luckily they sold, and we were pretty much out of stock for 2 years after that. Just however many bars we made, we just couldn't get enough. And then now we've got the partnership with Mondelez and Cadbury. We get access to all this incredible IP. So we've made an Oreo bar and a white chocolate Oreo bar. They make a sugar-free crumb for us, because all of our stuff is high protein, low sugar. So we can take the best of their brand, the best of our brand, and make something really special for consumers. We sell now in 80 countries around the world, including the US. So if you happen to go to Costco anytime soon, especially in Texas, you'll find us there. And we now know they're being rolled out across the US, so you'll get us in Costco nationwide in the US. So it's really exciting.
And final question, how big was kind of Branson's story and who he was, like, as an entrepreneur for you?
So we could, I mean, you cannot underestimate the inspiration, you know, for my story that's come from Richard. When I was 10 years old, I skipped off school. I pretended I was ill to watch the Virgin Challenger transatlantic voyage, to watch them actually come into the UK port. I pretended I was ill so I could watch this guy who I never thought I'd meet, breaking the world record to get the Blue Ribbon Trophy back for the UK. And the whole nation was just hooked on this particular event. I remember thinking I'd love to meet him someday. And then there's been a fantastic journey with really myself and Virgin and Richard. I'm a mentor for Virgin Startup. I've helped work with Virgin Unite. I've done various trips to Necker, multiple strives, and it's incredible that after 35 years of sort of from first seeing you know, probably one of the world's best known entrepreneurs, still makes me feel like anything is possible. Amazing. So including where we're sat now, where we did this epic 5k swim yesterday, which I never thought I'd be able to do. I hate swimming. And then I think, you know, Richard's 75, if he can do it, why can't I?
Love it. So I've come back up to the top of the Great House in some better weather to carry on the tour with you guys. Behind us is Dan on the hot tub. But if I spin the camera around, this is the pool at the Great House. Beautiful big lake in the middle where some flamingos hang out. And then we've got, if we zoom in, where some animals are here in the cages. They have everything here: lemurs, kangaroos, monkeys. Over there, which I'll take you guys to, is the beach house, which is kind of a main hangout area with the tennis courts. Over there is Richard's home. This is Temple, where there's some accommodation and again a beautiful dinner spot. And then in the back you have kind of the wind turbines, which we hiked around with Richard. And then you can see that same accommodation spot we could view from our room, and the flamingos over here today. So yeah, let's go have a look around. So behind me here is the Red Dock, which is where we come into the island on the boat. And then in front of me here is the beach house, which is really one of the main areas that we congregate. We have a beautiful bar right in the middle. We've got pool tables, there's chess sets everywhere. And then this beautiful kind of outdoor chill area. Chess sets here, everyone's been giving Richard a good go at chess, with a view of the main tennis court. We've got the gents playing right now with a great little rally. I've given Richard a couple of games. So yeah. And so here we have the beach bar with a jacuzzi, swimming pool, a great little cold plunge here. And then up here is the crocodile table where we've had breakfast some of the mornings. And then a beautiful beach area here for water sports. We've got a dedicated water sports team on the island. Everything you can think of: kite surfing, they have these little sail boats, hobies they're called, e-foils, kayaks, stand-up paddle, the lot. There we go. Down here on this beautiful beach is Turtle Beach, where we had a beautiful dinner here. We got a little beach bar. We did a beautiful Q&A with Richard here. And the views are just unbelievable. So I am here with one of the most impressive entrepreneurs I've ever met.
Aw, Tyler, thank you.
My wonderful friend, my new friend, Joanna, who has Well, had an amazing business.
Has an amazing business.
But you still own part of the business?
I do. I still own 20%.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start from the start.
Sure.
What happened?
So when I was 28, I created a company.
Yes.
And I saw a gap in the market that wasn't really something that I was experiencing at the time, but I really saw an opportunity to kind of shake up the women's underwear industry and to create products that were designed with real bodies and real people in mind. And so I started that business 12 years ago and have really been on a wild journey ever since, I would say.
Tell me the Equinox story.
Oh gosh, yeah. So I started, I think in the beginning you really do anything that you can to try to make money, right? Yep. And I always would say I'll try anything once.
And twice if you like it.
Yeah, or if it's punishment, which I think in the case of Equinox it was. And so one of the first accounts that we got into was Equinox, which is a high-end chain of gyms. And so I would go to every single Equinox location across America and stand there from 6 a.m. in the morning until 10 p.m. at night trying to sell underwear to people who would come through the shop before a workout. And it was a grind, honestly. But I learned so much from that. I actually learned so much from talking to people directly about our products and like what stood out to them, what made them pay attention and want to buy. And so finally, when I pivoted to be online and direct to consumer.
Wait, but the Equinox, like, you were working 6 a.m.
till 10 p.m. easily.
Every day?
Pretty much, yeah.
Across the whole of the US?
Yeah, I would go to LA, I would set up like in West Hollywood as an example, and then I would wake up in the morning and I would drive. Yep. So I would like drive from West Hollywood to Encino, or drive from West Hollywood to Pasadena, or drive. So I was probably waking up at 4:30, 5 a.m. and standing in these gyms all day.
Selling your underwear?
Selling my underwear.
Well, not your underwear.
Well, not my physical underwear, but the products. And I think, honestly, it's not that I didn't like it. It just felt like such an unsustainable return on my time. Mm-hmm. Like, if that's all I'm going to do every single day of the year, as an example, and maybe I'm selling $1,000 a day on a good day, then the most I'm ever going to be able to sell is $365,000. Mm-hmm. And so, ultimately, I kind of realized that it was not the most sustainable things I needed to be doing with my time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, like you said, the first 4 years was a bit of a grind.
It was.
Then
yeah.
what was like the inflection points along the way?
So I think my first inflection point was switching from selling wholesale and doing those trunk shows to selling direct to consumer. Mm-hmm. So I did a crowdfunding campaign in 2015 where we had created a bra that I thought was really cool and interesting, and I didn't have any money to make it. And so I went to crowdfunding to kind of bring this product to market. And we ended up selling over $1 million in 30 days and became the most funded fashion project in the history of the platform. Wow. And I sold more in 30 days than I did the first 3 years of the business combined. And so I really had a realization that actually people want to buy these products, they want to connect with these products. I just can't rely on somebody else to sell them. Mm-hmm. So if I was in Equinox selling it, we would sell quite a few units. If I wasn't there, nothing would sell. And so we decided to pivot and go direct to consumer, and then that was really like a breaking point for us. So pulled out of 700 plus retail locations. It was like 90% of our revenue at the time.
Wow.
And I basically started over, but then we grew just shy of 4,000% in 3 years, and became
4,000%
in 3 years.
Wow, what is 4,000%? Like 400x? No,
We basically went from doing, call it a few $100,000 a year, to doing almost $50 million a year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a wild time.
And then recently, in the last couple of years, you exited, right?
I did, yeah. So I sold 80% of my business 2 years ago.
Wow.
And I actually wasn't looking to sell, which I think is kind of unique. I think a lot of people start a business and they say, I'm going to sell by this date and this is how it's all going to go down. Mm-hmm. And that's really not how it works.
And it put you on the map as the biggest exit from, was it a female Canadian?
Yeah, so the largest exit by a solo female founder in Canada.
By a solo female founder.
In Canada.
Is it public?
Yeah, it's very public. It's all very public. How much did I sell for?
Yeah.
So the valuation was $400 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
400 million.
And it was honestly not something that I was looking for at that moment. So the way that the timeline went is that I started raising around a capital when I was pregnant with my twin daughters. And I faced a lot of pushback about that, which was challenging, but I decided to still go ahead with it. And on the Friday afternoon at 4 p.m., I closed a $50 million fundraising round, which also at the time was the largest round by a solo founder in Canada. The Monday morning on International Women's Day, I gave birth to my twin daughters. And the Tuesday when I was still in the hospital, this company approached me and said, hey, we'd love to talk to you about buying your company. And I was like, your timing couldn't be worse. I'm literally in the hospital. I just had 2 babies. I just raised $50 million 3 days ago. But I really liked them and I thought it would be a good fit. So I kind of negotiated a really interesting exit, which was I wanted to stay for as long as possible and own as much as I could. And here I am on Necker Island.
Here we are, Necker Island. It's beautiful.
Cheers.
So I wanted to answer the question how and why I'm here, how I've managed to get to this incredible experience, this incredible island with these incredible people. And so I was kindly invited by my good friend Daniel Priestley, who's a very successful entrepreneur, author. Some of you may recognize him from some of the biggest podcasts in the world. And he reached out to me a couple of months ago, and I'll show you guys. He sent me this long voice note basically saying what it is. And my response immediately was, count me in. No questions asked, didn't even clarify what the dates were or exactly how it works and what it entails. I just heard opportunity to go to Necker Island with a group of incredibly successful people. And of course, to come on an experience like this, there's a very significant investment. The investment to come on something like this is in the tens and tens of thousands of dollars, but I've invested hundreds of thousands in myself. And my thought process going into it is that yes, the best investment you can make is in yourself, in your knowledge, your experiences, your skill sets, your network. And so coming to something like this, there's something powerful that happens when you surround yourself with extraordinary people, people playing the game at a very high level. It changes your thinking, it forces you to think bigger. You spot patterns in people's behaviors and the way they grew their businesses, patterns that become so obvious that they're hard to then ignore. And I understand as well that it just takes one soundbite, one piece of knowledge, one connection that creates a huge return on investment for something like this. And I come with that intention. Like, I hear from people that pay money to go on these seminars, courses, workshops, mentoring, coaching that sometimes don't get a result, and they're quick to scream that it was a scam or not worth the money. But then I'll see there's plenty of other people that have been through the exact same coaching or events that have got the success. And so I understand that there's a level of responsibility on myself, that when I'm investing myself, to show up with intention, to be the one that's asking the questions, shaking the hands, building the relationships, to get the answers and to get that return on investment. But proximity is power, and if you want to change your life, you have to change your environment. I will pay whatever price I need to pay to get in proximity with extraordinary people, because so many times it's just been that one soundbite. Someone says something that for them might seem insignificant or completely common sense, and then you just hear it from the right person at the right time, and it gives you that paradigm shift. You see the world totally differently, and there is a different way of thinking out there. And so I encourage anyone watching this, if you feel inspired by the stories that I've shared in this video of this trip, do whatever you can to get in proximity with extraordinary people. Your standards will change, your behaviors will change, your thoughts and thinking will change, and you will see things that once you see them, you can't unsee them. You will hear things that once you hear them, you can't unhear them. That is a paradigm shift. That is changing your reality. And so I'm very blessed to be here, and the lessons I've learned, I'm sure I'll share many of them in future videos to come, but it's a very powerful thing, investing in yourself in experiences like this.